Hey guys, Cool Brick here, and I've got a video that shows you guys how to remove bricks from other bricks. And notice how I'm not saying I'm showing a video how to use a brick remover because that only covers part of the video. I'm also showing some instances where you wouldn't want to use a brick remover simply because you can't. So I'll go ahead and start just by showing the brick remover. And this is the newer kind. There's also the older kind, which looks like this. These green ones, and these don't have as much of good function as these new ones. So I'll just be focusing on these new ones because most people have that kind and not the older kind. So basically, the way this is shaped is to get leverage on a piece. You place it down, you go like this, and it'll lift a piece. Or you can do the opposite movement like that to pull a piece off from the bottom of another one. So I've got a little base plate over here to show you guys just how this works. So I'll start off with just a simple plate on another plate. Just place this down on the other one, so it's like, let me get this here. So it's basically fully pressed down on it as if it's another piece. And then you just use leverage and push down, and your piece will come off. You generally want to try and you don't want to do things the long way like this. You can see I'm pressing down, and it just shot the piece into the background. So yeah, you want to try and do things the wider way. You want to do it like this, or like this, rather than from the long way. And then you can also remove tiles, and in the past you just have to, you couldn't really do it with those green ones, and so they just expect you to, use your hands and fingers. But the problem is what happens when you have something like this in the middle of a base plate or something. Then you just use this thin edge of this, and that just pops these right off because they have a little let me focus on this, just a little ridge in there, and that allows for this to sneak under there and pop it off. Focus back on this. And another thing is, if you get something like this and you're like, crap, how do I get these two pieces off from each other? Well, then you just grab yourself another brick remover if you have one, and if you don't, another surface just like a base plate usually can do the trick. So what you want to do is put it on one of the brick removers like that, and then put the other one like this, and then you just squeeze them together like that, and you can see this separates two pieces, and then you can just use your fingernail to get those apart. And then also, like I said, you can also do this just using a base plate if you don't have two brick removers. Generally this works, unless they're really stuck together, then that might not work, but usually you can just get away with that. And then another thing brick remover can be used for is, you can see this little bit. You can use that to basically just push out things that are in Technic pinholes. So if you can't get this piece out and you don't have an axle handy, whoops, and I just shot that piece out, and you just use those to get things out of the holes. So the last thing I'm going to show that you can do with the brick remover is, this is actually going to come later, but the last thing you can do is, if you look at the bottom, these can actually be attached to studs. And this won't come off or anything. It's a solid connection. And so if you have a lot of brick removers that you've accumulated, like me, and you want to just keep them all in the same place, if you don't want to put them in a container or something, you can just take a base plate and just put these right on a base plate. And now you've just got all of your brick removers together in one place. So the last thing I'm going to show you is this. So if you look inside of this, there is a minifig sword that is jammed in this brick. Now, this actually has happened to me. I don't know why there was ever a sword in this piece, in this brick, but there was. And I couldn't figure out how to get it out for a long time. And I did a bit of internet research, and you know, you can see you'd never be able to get something like this out with a brick remover. It's just simply too big to ever get something like this out. So here is the cheap little tool that you need. You just need one of these minifig crowbars, and these come with a lot of like police sets and stuff. The crooks use them. So you have a really thin bit similar to the brick remover, except it's also really skinny. It's just a little pole, a little rod that you can stick in a place like this. So if you do this properly, you should be able to remove something like this. And there we go. You can see I got that bit of the sword out, and then from there you can just kind of pull that out, and you can get something really crazy that's jammed in a brick or something out using just this simple little tool. So that's a nifty little trick to know, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think, and comment, like, and subscribe.